All right, and good evening, everybody, and welcome to Virtual York, the Manufacturers Night. And we appreciate everybody for joining us over the past couple of days.
Yeah, we're plugged in.
And tonight is a great action-packed night for you. We have Lionel Williams, Atlas, MTH, and Angela Trotta Thomas all tonight, and a lot of information that's going to be going on. And as part of York Week, it's going to be a lot of good talk about some O-scale product. So stay tuned. A lot of good stuff. Also, Saturday at 9 a.m., we do have a virtual club layout tour. So stay tuned for that. We are doing a virtual York super sale. So sign up for our email sales or Train World text service. You could find out more information at trainworldtext.com. So make sure you sign up there. And we are, as my father likes to do at the York train shows, raffling off 2 hats. So usually at the show, we hand out hats, koozies, some foam fingers, but we got 2 hats tonight. So in the chat, put in your zip code and name, and we'll pick out a lucky winner, two winners, either tonight or tomorrow, and we'll ship these off. Previously on the last 2 shows, we had Jim, Mark, and Cody as hat winners. So tonight we'll give away 2 more, and thank you everybody for joining us. So before we kick it off,
Kenny, Kenny, all right, can we give away a starter set also? Make it a little more exciting.
Why not?
Okay, all right. Tonight we'll do 1 starter set also. All right.
Well, now you got to pick out what kind of starter set.
I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. Right.
Okay, so put it in the chat. We need a zip code and your name. Basically, we'll pick it out. We'll let you know. So my father's spicing it up. He's going to put in a starter set and 2 hats. So let's see it. If you want to throw in a train emoji or fire emoji, spice it up. Who knows?
Okay.
All right. So, Dad, you want to start things off before we kick it into Lionel, or?
Well, I got questions for everybody, quite honestly. But
okay.
I guess I want to say hi to Drew from Atlas there. He's been a newcomer to Atlas. He was with Horizon Hobby, but he's a train guy. He knows trains inside and out, very reliable, dependable. And if you got any questions, just email Drew. He'll take care of your answers on that stuff. He's we're having a shortage of product right now, but he knows when it's coming. That's for sure. And I guess Drew at Atlas, his company bought the product from MTH, some tooling. So there's going to be some interesting stuff going on there between that marriage for sure. And I guess I just welcome everybody aboard. And Angela, it's our first time talking this way. The other guys we've done already. And I'm glad Rich and Andy are still there for sure. It's we need all you guys for sure. You guys make the industry. It just wouldn't be the same without any of you. And but Kenny, you can take it and see who you want to start with. And I got a few questions for each one's.
All right, so we're gonna start and kick it off with Lionel and Ryan. How you doing, Ryan?
Oh, doing great, Ken. It's great to be with you.
We just get you over. All right. So what do you got for us tonight, Ryan?
Well, I'm trying to keep it a little bit short tonight because I know we've got a lot of people on, and I don't want to hog all the time here. But I thought I'd give everybody a quick update on what we've got coming in the very near future out to Train World and your other dealers around the country, and some updates of things to come. And then we're going to do a little show and tell here with some of our new technology and our great new Bluetooth features. So if I can here, let me switch over and share my screen, and we'll bring up the piece. 1 second. This is already configured for 2 monitors, and I am at home. So there we are. So heading your way this month to Train World. We're getting the next shipments ready to go. We've got several legacy steam locomotives. These are all from the Volume 2 catalog from last year. These have come in and have been inspected and are going back out again. So we've got the legacy 282s, the 2882s, and the legacy 460s. Those we did a real nice run of those. Lots of colorful different road names across the board. The only 2882s that won't be shipping this month will be the weathered versions. Those are on their way to Harry Heike right now so that he can get to painting all of those, and then they'll be shipping out after he's finished with them. So I'm going to estimate, depending on his timeline, maybe a May or June shipment on that particular SKU. But the rest of these locomotives will be shipping from our warehouse to our dealer network in the next couple of weeks. And then also the Vision Reefers, those are also on their way out. They were from a Volume 1 catalog last year. We've got some American Flyer rolling stock that has come in, will be shipping out. And then a good amount of American Flyer and O-Gauge Fast Track also shipping. I know normally we don't talk about track shipments, but like most of the manufacturers, we saw a big run on track last year as a lot of people stayed home and started building their layouts finally and realized they needed more track. So we're getting more track back in stock, and we'll be continuing to replenish shelves starting this month and throughout the year as more pieces come in. So if you're building your layout, we've got more track on its way to you. Looking ahead a little bit at some bigger announcements, our new HO catalog just dropped this last week. That's online right now, and orders are open until middle of next month. So if you cross into different scales, you might want to take a look at that. The Volume 2 catalog for 2021, the next big one, that will be out in mid-July. We've got a tentative date, but we're going to, for right now, to say right around mid-July for the next Volume 2 catalog. Things are coming together very nicely on that. We're actually reviewing the first drafts now, checking art, finishing up things, getting things finally quoted, and so forth. So we're a little ahead of schedule on the Volume 2 catalog. Definitely midsummer. Everyone has that to look forward to, and it's going to be a pretty full catalog. I'm pretty excited about some of the great things we have to come in there. But I'm not allowed to spill all the beans tonight on that, unfortunately. Throughout the rest of the year, there's going to be some additional special announcements as well. The Volume 2 catalog will be the last big catalog for 2021, but it is not going to be the last of the new product announcements. I'm very certain of that. So you'll want to keep track of our website for special announcements beyond July, and we'll be definitely making some posts there and on social media. And I'm very sure, as we have good things to say, we'll be on here with Ken and Train World and helping to spread the word there also. One of the events that we are most looking forward to is October York, the 21st through the 23rd, when we are confident that we will all be able to be there live and in person together. And from myself and the rest of the Lionel team, we are anxious to get back in public again and see you all face to face. Even all the sights and smells and tastes of York even are starting to smell a little homesick to us. So we are very much looking forward to that in October. As long as the show is a go, and right now everything looks like it is, Lionel will be there in October. Last but not least for this year, National Lionel Train Day, December 4th. First Saturday in December is our day. We try and encourage you all to go out and visit your local dealer, your local hobby shop, and spend a day enjoying trains. So lots of fun events coming up through the rest of this year and things to look forward to. I promise some more big announcements to come as we move along. But I want to spend a little bit of time tonight talking about some things that we announced in the Volume 1 catalog and are now starting to get into actual production and have some more samples and things to show you. So the first of these is Lionel Voice Control, and this allows you to control your train through our app with simple voice commands. So you press a button, it opens up the voice prompt, and you can give your train instructions, and it will respond. And I'll demonstrate that for you here in a little bit with a sample that I have in-house tonight. So this is a great new way to enjoy your trains and control things. And what's really cool about this is it works on anything that we've made, that we're making, or that we have made that has Bluetooth on board. So even your past product, if you have something in home right now from us with Bluetooth, you can use the voice control on the app and try this out. This isn't just limited to new 2021 product. So that includes legacy locomotives that are equipped with Bluetooth, Lion Chief Plus 2.0, Lion Chief Plus, Lion Chief, Flyer Chief, and our HO models all across the spectrum. This will work for you. It's a fun thing to do. Give it a try. We're also finding that as we move into our new year and our new boards with the upgrade to Bluetooth 5.0 over the 4.0 chips, the response times for everything gets even faster and more enjoyable on both the apps and the remotes. The next is one that we haven't been able to demonstrate until just now. We finally got our first working sample of this, and the app and code is coming along nicely, and that's the voice streaming and recording function of the new app. And this will be available this year on our new ready-to-run O-gauge sets, and we hope to expand that to other parts of the product line in the coming year or two ahead. This allows you to stream your own audio either live or through some recordings through your train. And so if you are one of those few people who doesn't always fall in love with our crew talk, you can record your own. Or if you want to make other special messages or play some music through your train, this gives you the option to do all of that now. And it's just another neat way to interact with your train and have some fun and expand on the magic of the world of Lionel. And so with that in mind, while I've got the screen shared, I'm going to move my camera here and reposition that. And so hopefully it doesn't make you all too dizzy. We'll see if we can demonstrate this for you.
You want me to stop share?
Yep, I'm going to stop that there. We should be back, right? All right. We've got the Polar Express here, large and in charge, in front of me. Up on some rollers here. And I'm going to be pulling up the app on my phone. I've already got her dialed in. I have some of the volumes turned down, but she's programmed in to run here. We'll try the voice command first. There's a simple app or simple button here on the app in the upper corner with a moniker of a person speaking. So that says ready for voice commands. Go forward.
Going forward.
Full speed. Stop. So you can have a lot of fun with this. Of course, I'm just giving it some basic commands to show here on screen, but it'll do a variety of sound and other commands. If you're running the train and want to slow down to a gradual stop, you can ask it to come into the station, and it'll respond to that and slowly bring the train to a stop and ring the bell and so forth. So a really fun feature. Not turning on the bell. Let's go into our other sounds for a second and pull up some of our pre-recordings. On the app, you'll see a screen here. Pull this back so you can see it. You can record up to three pre-recorded sounds, and you can re-record as often as you like. So if you don't like it, you can re-record. You can bring in other files from your phone as well, and then simply press the button and talk. Or there's also a live streaming button over here as well. So we can do live streaming if we want to talk through the train. Welcome to Virtual York. And there's a slight delay, but it'll talk through that way. Or you can do pre-recorded messages.
Shop online at trainworld.com.
So you can do a lot of fun things with this. Create your own messages and have a lot of fun with the kids at Christmas or whatnot as you're running these trains around your layout. Just one more way that we've come up with to expand on the fun of Lionel trains and our world. Let me move this back to where you can see
That's great, Ryan. Really cool.
So some new technology, new things coming down the pipeline, even more good things to come. This is going to be a busy year for us, engineering-wise and production-wise. We've got a lot of great things that are on the way, and more big announcements to be making in the not-too-distant future. I want to thank everybody out there. We started off the year very strong with a great Volume 1 catalog order cycle. We are going to be busy all year long, working hard to get everything out to you. The updated shipping schedule may be online as soon as tomorrow, but certainly by early next week, we'll have the shipping schedule up there. So everything that you've ordered, you'll have a good estimate of when it's coming in. And it's going to be a steady flow of deliveries, it looks like, for us from now right until November, as we try and cram everything into this year and get it out the doors to Train World and all of you. So look forward to seeing you all in person, and look forward to York this fall when we can do this. We'll probably still do virtually maybe again also, but also shake some hands and see you all up close and personal. Very much looking forward to that again. And then the beers always taste a little bit better when we're together as friends here on this call as well. So Ken, I'll turn it back over to you or your dad for some questions.
That's awesome, Ryan. And just one quick question. Someone had a good thing. Recordings, how long could they be, or is it long recordings, or
so far I think we're up to at least 30 seconds. It may be a little bit longer than that. We're still working on some of the app platform development things, and so that's not quite finalized yet. 30 seconds is actually a pretty good length if you're going to do any sort of talking or dialogue. I haven't tried to record an entire Springsteen concert on here yet. But I'm threatening to try that. So we'll see how long we can get a recording on.
Yeah, Ryan, I got a couple of questions.
Sure.
The small motorized units. Any chance to make them Lion Chief or Lion Chief Plus?
Something we're considering and looking into. Definitely, it's very doable. They're not very difficult low units to control. So if there is if there's an interest in that and a market in that, for sure, let us know.
There is. I'll buy plenty of
our various social media channels, and we'll definitely look into things like that. We've been meeting over the last couple of days in the office to determine our product line, set everything in stone for 2022, and we do have some great motorized units and some new things planned in that world. So definitely adding Bluetooth or Lion Chief is something that could be very easily done. I say that without Dave here staring at me saying no, but I know Dave pretty well, and I'm pretty sure even Dave can figure that one out.
Yeah. Well, I think this Bluetooth stuff is pretty good. It's I think if the grandfathers learn how to use the Bluetooth, them and their grandchildren are going to be together for a long time with the trains. They're just they ain't going to believe what Grandpa can do with his trains with a cell phone. It's going to be pretty cool if we can just graduate the older crowd to use this Bluetooth stuff.
Right. It really is a neat technological change, and it does a couple of things for us. It makes it very user-friendly and attractive to younger and newer audiences for sure. But also by switching over to a common Bluetooth platform, the technology stays current. We're not constantly driving that. Now we have to keep up with it, as you're seeing now with the changeover from the 4.0 chips to the 5.0 chips, and it keeps us on our toes and keeps us working. But the technology itself doesn't become out of date. We're updating and not replacing. And so we expect these platforms to be sustainable for many, many, many years to come.
I was looking at a magazine that was about 20 years old, and they had collector prices of engines in there going for $1,000 back then. And what the train did back then is nothing compared to what the trains do today. So you really get a lot for your money today. The trains today are the real deal. It's like the sounds, the smoke, you can make them crawl. I mean the technology and the engineering that you guys have put into trains and all these other manufacturers, it's just you get a lot more for your money today. It sounds like I'm a lot of money, but you get a lot of trains for that same dollar and years ago that you didn't get for that dollar.
Absolutely. And I think that's true from not just Lionel, but everybody you have here on the call tonight.
Yep.
We've all done a great job at elevating this hobby and bringing in new things. The competition has been good. It's brought us all to a better place. Higher levels of detail, prototype accuracy, as you said, the performance, slow speed running, sound, smoke, special effects, different ways to control your trains. Now the hobby can be as complex or as simple as you want it to be. You've got all the options in the world.
Mm-hmm. Well, you guys are doing a great job. Thank you very much for for I don't even know what to say. You're just you're top of your game. Top of your game. Mm.
Innovating with the voice technology is really cool features. So I think all of us are really excited for that, and can't wait for the consumers to use it, especially in the starter sets, to really bring in a whole new generation. So awesome
Absolutely.
stuff, Ron. All right. Anything else?
Not for me. No. I'm sure I'll stick around, and if we have anything followed up at the end of the night, be happy to do that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ryan. Thank you, Lionel. We really appreciate it. And Larry, how you doing? I thought you were on mute. Now you unmuted.
I unmuted just to make sure I didn't interrupt Ryan while he was talking.
Very cool.
I'm doing great. It was crazy this morning. It was snowing here.
Really?
So,
wow.
Yeah. So spring's not here yet. So, but Spring York is here. So I'm glad to be invited to this, and thanks again for that. I got all of our O scale product, not just Williams, but also our ON30 line today to show you. One of the things we thought we were getting a little out of practice of going to the show, so we actually set up our booth in our warehouse and decorated it just like we normally would at a show, and I have some video footage to show you that. Before I do, I'm going to show you, people ask what is the difference between O scale, ON30. So what I have here is a few items. Excuse me, I'm going to reach down. So this is a Williams O scale boxcar. This is a ON30 O scale boxcar. They're both O scale, but they run on different gauge track. So I have the two tracks here. This is a standard 3-rail O gauge, and this is actually an HO gauge track. The ON30 is a narrow gauge O scale that will actually scale out to 30 inches between the two rails, where the standard gauging on railroads like CSX, Norfolk Southern, is 4 foot 8.5 inches from rail to rail. So that's the difference. They're still, these are used the ON30s used mostly for mining railroads and stuff that's tighter turns required, and but it's still an O scale product. So you can use these together. Some people make an interchange on their railroad where they have the main line from, like CSX or something coming in with a narrow gauge feed. It probably wouldn't have been CSX, probably wouldn't have been Pennsylvania or something like that in older days. But that's the difference. And to just show you, even though this is an HO boxcar and this is an ON30 boxcar, you can see they're much different in size. So that explains the difference of the two. If there's any questions out there, come up on the chat line. I'll be happy to answer them on that. I sent over a video of the booth tour that we actually, like I said, we set up our booth and did some video work. So Ken, if you could run that through now, that'd be great.
Yep.
I want to show you our Williams O gauge line. A Williams O gauge is 3-rail O gauge. It runs conventionally with transfer. Can you make that full screen, Ken? And has sound of whistle and bell or horn and bell for most items. Up here on the top shelf is our scale GG1. It's a massive locomotive, 20 inches long, but it is designed to run on curves as small as 042. The pantographs go up and down. It's a very highly detailed item. Down here is one of our newer locomotives is our F59 PHI. We have it in 3 paint schemes from Amtrak. Used to operate mostly on the West Coast. passenger service for Amtrak California. This is our GP38 model. It's a nice all-around versatile engine for your layout. Runs on 031 curves. Down here are our heritage locomotives. A couple examples. We have 5 in stock, but there's Lehigh Valley and Southern liveries. These are These are good little versatile steamers of 460s. We have these in 3 road names: B&O, Southern Pacific, and not shown. We have a C&O version as well. Top shelf here, we have our 70-tonner locomotive. It is designed for 027 operation. It has 2 motors in it, even though it's an incredibly small size locomotive. And it has a full sound package with horn, bell, and prime mover. Also down here are our FA1 AB units. They're sold as a powered A with a dummy B. The powered A has 2 motors in it. It also has True Blast Plus with full sound. These are our NW2 switchers. We have these in 4 road names. Western Pacific and Boston and Maine are shown. This shelf, we have an example of most of our freight cars in our line. We have the flat car, a gondola with barrels, a box car with a sliding door, 3-dome tank car, and caboose, which is an illuminated version of the caboose. We also make a couple other freight cars, which you can look in our catalog and peruse what else we have there. But this just shows they're made with die-cast trucks, operating couplers on both ends. This is our colorful Ringling Brothers scheme we have here. The next shelf down are our operating cars. These are really nifty little cars. They can be operated with the remote control that will operate up to 24 different cars on your layout, anywhere on your layout. It doesn't need any special place. Or you can also use the specific place of the magnetic uncoupling track will operate the car as well. On this shelf, we have our 70-ton ore cars and our front runner with trailer. Next shelf down, we have what started it all in O-Gauge for us was our Plasticville line. This is really our inroads into trains to begin with, was our Plasticville line. This is one of our Cape Cod houses. We sell these as a pair, and also is our diner and Frosty Bar. You've been seeing these on layouts since late 40s, and it's what started it all, like I said, for us in trains. Below, we have our easy track line for O-Gauge. The basic curve straight allows you with a transition track to hook up to tubular track and then the power track. This is our newest item in O-Gauge. This is an egg liner. We've had these in our large scale line for a couple of years now. The original concept was a New York Central yard house where they took 2 observation cars, chopped it in half and welded them together and put it up on stilts. Well, we took it a little step further by adding wheels to it and running around the layout. These will be out later this year in Williams. This is their first prototype sample. It's undecorated, but we'll have them in 4 paint schemes. I believe it'll be in Independence Day, Halloween, Christmas, and Easter. One very popular line in Williams is our Easy Street line. We have it adds motion to your layout besides just the trains. You can have realistic roadways with operating cars throughout your layout. We have a large variety of cars available: sedans, trucks, delivery vans. The latest 3 models that we have are our black sedan, our red sedan, and all new sheriff car. Very colorful. Recently came out were our animal control truck, our Hawaiian shave ice, and a tow truck from Rusty's Auto Salvage. If you want to get started in this, the easiest way is to purchase the complete set. Everything you need is there. We have a oval loop of track. It even comes with a toll booth and a vehicle and a power supply. These will run on AC or DC current, and they're set to run in forward direction only. This is our ON30 line. Our ON30 line was originally designed for like Christmas layouts for the ceramic villages and such, but has grown to a more popular logging and short line railroad. It's narrow gauge. That's people say, what is ON30? ON30 stands for O is the scale, which is 1 to 48th scale. N means it's a narrow gauge railroad, which normal railroads are 4 foot, 8.5 inches. These vary from anywhere from 24 to 30 inches, 36 inches. So, but this is modeled as 30 inches. So that's what the 30 stands for. So O narrow gauge, 30-inch. 0-30 has usually a very unique locomotive. So this is one example here is our Whitcomb diesel center cab locomotive with side rods, and it's just a very unique looking locomotive. We have some more conventional locomotives like a 260, and then we have a variety of freight cars. A lot of the 0-30 items are working railroad things. So we're going to have things like cranes, flat cars, work cabooses, logging cabooses, dump cars. They were used mostly for mining purposes and logging railroads. Besides logging locomotives, some of the locomotives were sent over during World War I were trench locomotives, supplied our soldiers with much needed supplies. This is a 262 Baldwin style trench engine. It comes with wow sound DCC. This was the first locomotive we used the technology from wow sound called Chuffinity, where they have over 1,000 different samplings of the chuff from the locomotive. Normally on a standard DCC up until this point, you'd hear just varying intensities, but this actually is actual sampled chuffs, and they're all randomized based on the load of the locomotive going uphill, downhill, speed, and such. And we also have a number of rolling stocks to go along with the 0-30 trench engines, gondolas and boxcars. And you can see throughout the line we have a number of other freight cars, high side gondola, low side gondola, flat cars. We have refrigerator cars. These are pretty unique. You'll see a lot of 0-30 narrow gauge lines have been turned into excursion lines for tourist railroads. So we made an excursion car. This is a covered excursion car. And they also have some passenger cars as well. In 0-30, we also have some ready-to-run sets. We have a nice White Pass and Yukon passenger set here with a 260 locomotive and several passenger cars. It does come with track and power supply and controller, so you're ready to set up right out of the box. We also have some Christmas-themed items like our Norman Rockwell Christmas set, and also new this year, which I don't have a sample of yet, will be our East Broadtop freight set.
All right.
All right. Thanks for playing that for me, Ken. A couple other things I got in a few paint samples recently. Our maglev hoppers with no wheels on them. So, no, just kidding. They'll come with trucks, but these are our paint samples. There's your B&O version. This is quad hopper, and this is Pennsylvania Light and Power. And this is Santa Fe. I just got these in the other day, so I thought I'd share those as well. And that's pretty much a wrap for the line. Here's the egg liner again, if you didn't see it closely on the other.
Yeah, Larry, I think that egg liner is going to be a huge seller. And Dad, you could probably speak to the G-scale line when they first came out with the egg liner. I mean, it's just a huge seller. So I think once the O-scale market really gets to see it and what it looks like and starts to see a couple of pictures or layouts with it, people are really going to start to go crazy for it.
Yeah, the fantasy stuff is kind of, unique to, large scale and O scale. We had a number of years back when we did the girl set first, the reproduction of the classic Lionel set from the late 50s. And then we said to take it another step forward, and we did a pink GG1 with pink Madison cars. And we brought it out to York. I remembered people saying, "Pink GG1, you can't make a pink GG1." I got to have one of those. So they sold very well. It was everybody couldn't be the only one on the block with a pink GG1. So especially if they had granddaughters or daughters that enjoyed trains with them. So, the egg liner is kind of the same way. They're a cute little whimsical item that you can have fun with and doesn't break the bank to put them on your layout. These do have, I didn't mention, they have a reversing unit in them. They're illuminated. Okay. And they do have a standard reverse, forward, neutral, reverse. It does have a lockout switch on the bottom if you want to do if you have a block system or something you're running, you can keep them running in forward direction. So,
when do you anticipate them coming out?
They'll be out. I should be getting paint samples soon. I was hoping to have them for this show, but they should be out by the fall. Perfect for the Christmas.
Good.
Yeah.
Stocking stuffer.
Perfect stocking stuffer. Yes.
Yeah.
So
May actually fit in the stocking.
they will. Yeah. You're right. They will. So
looks pretty heavy though. It doesn't look like it's a lightweight. That looks like a die-cast motor base in there.
It's a die-cast frame and body shell's plastic. If you look at it closely, you'll recognize this is a 2400 series, observation car. So we took the shape that was familiar with everybody in O gauge and just made it the egg liner. The egg liner and the large scale version is a little bit different looking. So.
Yeah. It was a very good presentation with all your trains in the background.
Thanks.
It was a good idea. Very good idea.
All right.
Well, thanks for having us. I'm going to hang around for a while. I do have another obligation, but if I'll stick around as long as possible. And
okay.
If any other questions from you or Ken Jr.?
I got to hook up with your boss so I can give him an order. With COVID, we haven't been able to.
You can take. We got a phone. We have fax machine. We have email. We can take orders anyway. So
okay.
Feel free to send it over.
My father's still on dial-up, Larry.
Okay. Well, fax machines work on dial-up.
Yeah.
We still have one hooked up in the office. Doesn't get many papers coming across it, but we still have one hooked up.
You get my papers.
Very, very cool, Larry. We're all excited about those egg liners, and hopefully you keep on remaking some more Williams stuff because it's all great products. So
thanks.
We appreciate you coming on, Larry, and appreciate the time.
No problem. Thanks for having me again.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Larry.
No problem.
And up next, what would York be without the dynamic duo? I said Batman and Robin last time, but I think one of you would have been upset. But
to answer your question, it'd be a more sober event. That's for sure.
Who's Batman and who's Robin? Or
I won't wear tights anyway. So.
I'm going to.
Okay.
Well, Rich, Andy, how are you guys doing? And we miss you.
Well, we're doing good. I mean,
thanks for having us on.
Thanks for joining us.
Did you get the COVID shot?
No, not yet.
No?
Nope.
Are you an anti-vaxxer?
Haven't made up my mind.
You got to get it. You got to get it.
I'm leaning that way, but I haven't really gone in search of yet. So
you have to do it. You're playing Russian roulette if you don't get it. Yeah.
Kenny Jr., on your advertisement for this event, I saw you noted that Ryan Kunkel had been nominated for a Grammy. And I may have mentioned this on your show, but I too was nominated for a Grammy, but it was in the spoken word category. But I was defeated soundly by Bill Shatner. It was terrible.
As you should have been. I mean, Captain Kirk can rock it.
Yes.
On the spoken word.
So I guess we should get into it.
We did have a tribute post as well for Rich and Andy. So I think a lot of people are here for a tip the cap moment to Rich and Andy.
We appreciate that, but frankly, send us some hooch or something. That would be even better. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, help dull the pain, as it were.
Or some hams.
Yeah, but anyway, it's good to be here. We've been going to York for a long, long time. I mean, we're about as old as Ken Sr. there. Maybe not, but maybe.
I think you guys passed me. I don't know.
I might have, yeah. So
Mike's working you too hard, guys. Working you too hard.
Not for much longer.
Andy, I gotta say, the custom products that you're doing for us is like insanely great. We don't even have a chance to hold on to inventory. People buy it up like crazy, all these custom paint jobs you make for us.
Well, I appreciate that.
Thank you very, very much.
Yeah, we appreciate the orders. And, they're fun to do. We've been doing a lot of it, and I'll touch on that in a moment. I thought for sure I would at least give everybody an indication of where we're at here. Still scheduled to be out of the building by the end of May, and that's moving along. For those of you who subscribe to the e-newsletters, the service centers are doing all of the service right now because we've stopped issuing RAs because we don't want anybody to ship product over to us for fear that it'll get lost in the transition, if you will. So use your authorized service centers for that. There will be parts available in the new location. That'll be staffed by a couple of MTH employees who will run that side of the business. There'll be more details on that as we get into May. There'll be a brand new parts website for that as well. So look for that information to be posted on the website and through the e-newsletters. I'll talk about e-newsletters all the time because that's where we're feeding all this information out to folks about custom runs and whatnot, the stuff that Senior was talking about. And it's not just for them, it's for other MTH authorized retailers as well. And I think one of the big questions about why that's happening is we're still a bit of a backlog on the 2020 items that we promoted in our last catalogs, both HO and O gauge. And so the factories are still open and they're busy catching up on that. So we thought we'd throw some more product out there. And that's why you've seen some of these announcements coming since January, basically. So any thought on that stuff as how it's going?
Yeah, it's going very well, actually. Generally, we offer a handful of items for general consumption. And then there's usually quite a few dealers that want exclusive custom runs, Train World being one of them. They're doing some exciting things. So we'll touch on that a little later in the program.
Good. All right. So one of the other things that's happened, and I think Senior touched on that a little bit ago, was that Atlas had purchased some of our tools. And one of the things about that is the tooling that they bought was promoted on the website. And you can see that if you just go up to mthtrains.com and look for the news tab, and you'll see information on not only Atlas's purchase, but also scaletrains.com, the HO company out of Tennessee, our buddy Shane Wilson. And both of those companies have purchased select items. Atlas's list is on the website. Basically, Scale Trains bought all of the HO and all of the S gauge tools. That said, we're still in the process of delivering some of the HO. As I mentioned, we're a little behind. I think the last piece is the
Little Joe.
Little Joe, and did we get the DMIR Yellowstones in?
Yes.
They just came in, I think, right?
Came in,
Went out.
and they went out.
Yep.
Train World was a bit piggish on that.
Were they?
Yes.
Were they? Well, they know a good product when they see it, and I'm sure that that's done well for you guys. So Little Joe's, I don't know where they're at in the schedule. I have not seen them.
They got to be fairly close. Some of the last of the 2020 Volume 2 is right around the corner. Things like the turbo trains. We're not getting 100% next week, but it should be there. Trying to think of some of the other items that we were waiting on from that book, but they are starting to. What's left from 2020 Volume 2 is right around the corner.
Well, that's good. One of the things that I always enjoy is when this stuff comes in, how much of it you don't know about until you see it. And it's really hard right now because so much of it is already sold through. It's just shooting right out. But that S gauge line is one of those that's kind of cool because there's some neat products that are in there that we haven't seen. And the F7s came out in a bunch of different road names. I think I grabbed a shot of the Western Maryland, and you can see that here. The SW8s in Southern Pacific, Erie, Lackawanna, Great Northern.
Yep.
Did you see any of them?
Well, they're virtually 100%. We do have very small numbers left on the SW8s and NW2s. I think we're pretty much down to almost nothing on the F7. So if you're an S gauge fan, there's not many of these left. So I'd act quick.
Then we got NW2s that are also here. So this is the end of the S gauge, the F7s, the SW8s, and the NW2s. I've got images of Union Pacific, Santa Fe, and Nickel Plate Road, as well as Lehigh Valley. And, this product, like all of our product, comes with Protosound 3, so it runs on DCC or DCS or conventionally under both AC and DC power. So kind of cool there. So those are in stock, just a handful of them. You can see them when you go to the website, do a search for the S gauge NW2s, SW8s, or the F7s, and whatever's left is available. Call Train World up, get your order in, because they are not going to last much longer for sure. Okay, as we mentioned at the start, we've been building some product to try to keep things going while we wait for some of this backlog. And part of the backlog is that the circuit boards, the Protosound 3 boards, we got a bit of a delay on some of those. So we've got engines that haven't come in. You mentioned a couple of them. We've announced a few other engines, trying to keep those facilities going while we catch everything up. And now we kind of shifted over to rolling stock because we're waiting on Protosound 3 boards. So we've got a number of different products that are both marketed directly as quote unquote MTH items, and then a bunch more that'll be announced here over the next couple of weeks that are coming from the retailers, the authorized retailers who've done some custom run stuff. The one thing about the product that we've been announcing is if you go to the website and you want to see everything that we've done, we actually categorize all the stuff that we're offering to all of the retailers under the 2021 All Scales catalog. And by that, we mean there's some G gauge stuff and there's some O gauge stuff in there. There's no HO and no S gauge, but there is some G and some HO. And that G is all sold out as far as I know, right? Big boys are...
Pretty much everything's sold in G right now. And one thing I do need to mention, because we are, going to be in a new facility, but the facility will be considerably smaller than our current location. We'll be sharing it with all the parts service type of activity. So most all this product, it's going to be built to order because we're not going to have room for inventory. So if you see something announced and it catches your eye, I get it on order right quick with Train World or your authorized dealer of preference, because it's not going to be around after the fact.
Yeah, it certainly won't be. And, I think part of the repercussions or the result of Mike's retirement is a run on product. And that kind of dovetailed in nicely with COVID, in that a lot of people are staying home. I know track has sold real well. The guys doing layouts have done real well during this thing. And, Ryan mentioned it, and I'm sure Larry as well, that sales have been strong while people have stayed home. And that's good for the industry, because it means, I think, that as time goes on, we've got probably some new customers in here, certainly some new interest in the hobby, and a kind of a shot in the arm to the existing customer base. But the end result is our product, and I'm sure the other guys as well, have just really been jumping. So it is a build to order kind of scenario because of the lack of space to manage those shipments when they come in and go out. So when you see something offered, and again, mthtrains.com, hit the newsletter, sign up if you're not already subscribed, and see your local retailer and get an order in, because this stuff will not last. All right, so the thing I was talking about, the Premier rolling stock product that is coming out, includes Premier AAR boxcars.
Yeah, 4 road names of the AAR: Southern, Missouri Pacific, Southern Pacific, and Erie.
And so these cars, we've done not as often as you would think,
No.
AAR boxcars. These particular schemes were some of the more popular ones. I don't think any one of these particular ones is new from a previous run, with the exception of new car numbers. We always do different car numbers. And One of the things that we try to do is make everything unique as much as we can. That's always been part of our history. So you'll see that with these particular items, and I think people will get a kick out of them. Next up would be the Premier Fish Belly Hopper. And this also, we haven't done a ton of these.
No, we haven't run this a lot. Coming out in Norfolk and Western, as you'll see, Lehigh Valley, Keystone Coke and Coal and Coke, and Akron, Kent, and Youngstown, ACNY.
Now, what can you tell me about Keystone Coal and Coke?
I don't know a lot about Keystone Coal and Coke, but a good vice president of sales would.
A good vice president of sales would, indeed. And, you know, it's amazing that you've been able to retain your job all these years.
It is. I fake things well.
Yeah. And also, how did you get the telephone surgically removed from your ear this morning in order to do this thing? Because you've been on the phone constantly.
Yes, I have. It's been busy. We're pretty short-staffed here, so customers and dealers need to be a little patient with us. My right-hand girl, Regina, went on a long vacation on me, and I just about had to quit.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
So here's the modern reefers you got on the screen now. And again, 4 road names: Bangor and Aroostook, Chessie, Curve Beer, and Burlington Northern.
And these are coming out when?
Should be around July of
so
this summer.
They're right on the doorstep.
Yeah.
And we'll be doing some custom run projects in this car style as well. And look for that announcement sometime over the next month or so. And there's the Burlington Northern. So, and again, I think these we've run before, with the exception of maybe the Curve Beer. Not sure about that one. Yeah. Okay. So then up last would be the Premier 70-ton 3-bay hopper. And this car, again, we haven't run a lot of these cars.
Bringing them out in Chesapeake and Ohio, Norfolk and Western, Pennsy Power and Light, and Ready.
They're nice.
And arriving September 2021. And this is one of the more detailed cars. You don't see a ton of it until you're holding them in your hand, but a lot of detail up underneath the coal bank, the angled bank there. And I'm sure Ryan can tell me what that means as far as all those parts in there. I don't think Junior could. You can't. No, for sure. But so anyway, look for those over the course of the summer and into the fall. And again, as I said, there'll be a bunch of announcements for other cars, other road names, paint schemes in that car style, as well as the other 3 over the next few weeks.
Sure.
Of course, Train World is one of our bigger retailers. Well, let's face it, they are.
Yes.
Yeah. And they're awfully humble.
Yeah, they're not as humble as I am.
Well, no, but
No one can top you, Rich.
right. And they have some family dynamic going on there. One tries to up the other or piss the other one off. Which is it? I'm not sure.
Well, it depends on which Bianco I'm talking to, what time of day it is. It changes. But we are doing some custom runs for Train World, and some of these are going to be, you'll want to jump on right away if you get the opportunity. And he's going to get them on the screen in a second. And starting off with some Long Island RS3s. And
3 different paint schemes, different cab numbers. And one of them I actually think is awfully interesting looking. The first 2 here are a prototype scheme, missing maybe a logo, but still nevertheless a prototype scheme. And again, unique cab numbers. I like this particular scheme here. I think that's a cool looking scheme.
yeah.
Now, what?
Rich, Andy, you dreamed that one up. You think you can sign the boxes?
As you know,
was Andy's idea.
I do a lot of things that are, kind of, what's the word I want? Revolutionary, big idea kind of guy, right? Like this, what we're doing right now. Yep. Arrogant is also, yep, sure. Why not? That's okay. But yeah, I like this scheme. And, I think you'll do very well with it if you haven't already.
Yeah, they're almost gone.
It was the best paint scheme by far, Andy, and it was all you.
Yep, thank you.
Rich tried to take credit for it, though.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he did. He's a slimy guy sometimes. He's in sales. I mean, he's supposed to take credit for it, right? So, whatever.
Listen, guys, Rich, Andy, we're not making any of these things, okay? On this particular one, do you think you guys can sign the box?
I get writer credit.
Well, for a fee, Andy will sign anything.
Well, that's true.
But, yeah, we might give that a shot for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
We can do that.
Because this is something you guys created, dreamed up, and were able to produce for us. And thank you. And the customers will thank you for sure.
And put it in the chat if you'd like to see Andy and Rich autograph on this engine. If you ordered it, then we'll try to make it happen. And I think it would be pretty cool. Quite honestly, it may be a collector's item.
Oh, I would think it's definitely a collector's item. My signature.
I do see on the screen a question about the AR box cars, and it's for all the rolling stock in the Premier line. There's 2 car numbers for each road date. So there's also some coming in the fish bellies are in 6-car sets as well. But the AARs, they're all 2 car numbers per item.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
What do we got next?
Well, we got SW 1500s. Yep, for sure. And these are also Long Island, obviously for Train World here, and 4 different paint schemes. Each, of course, sports a different unique cab number, and I believe these are all prototypical schemes. I don't think I made any of these up, right, guys?
No, this was actually Mike's idea.
Stop. Let's not get crazy here with that. Pull back on that. But anyway, go ahead.
But it was an actual engine. If you could go back to the bicentennial version, it's an actual Long Island version, and it's different. I don't think anyone's really done this in any scale, to be honest. So it's going to be interesting to see whether your train sells better or this train sells better.
Well, if mine's got my signature on it, top it out.
But very nice.
Let's see what else we got here. Was that the last?
No. We should have some RS1s on the screen in a second.
We have one. We have one RS1.
That's right.
And where is that? It's coming. One more. There's the last Long Island. I believe that's the last one.
That is. So this was requested by, I think, Ken Sr., if I'm not mistaken. Via email, and it's a Long Island RS1 in a Pennsylvania Brunswick green gold lettering. So that I think should do pretty well.
That should.
Finally, there's some bay window cabooses, 3 different cab numbers, I believe.
3 different cab numbers, 3 different item numbers, and these are all on the MTH website. So you'll be able to catch those and order them through Train World. And, Junior, there's a lot more stuff, as you know, that will be getting artwork to you and images to you over the course of the next few weeks.
And I will say, Andy, the pictures on the Long Island stuff are excellent, and it's really nice, and it helps sells the product. And between you and Rich getting the word out there, I think it's helpful, and it's great for the dealer to do these custom runs. So I think you guys really hit something where it's feasible,
Well, thank you.
Yeah, appreciate that for sure.
Yeah, I think you guys should stay in the custom painted product market. Quite honestly, it's a lot. It's different. It's different stuff that nobody has on their layouts. And you can do lots of local stuff. And I know you've been doing it all these years, but I think it can focus on it at a much bigger scale. And we do have a New York Central diesel coming out that I don't want to say what it is yet, but it's going to be amazing. And I put my faith in you to make this paint job. That's the industry is going to talk about this one for sure.
Don't they always, though? I mean, come on.
All right.
It'll be fun to do, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And final thing we want to talk about, Andy, is DCS status, correct?
Yes, indeed. So DCS, we announced the WTIU last spring with the 2020 Volume 2 catalog. And we've run into a little bit of a snag with component shortages and so forth. So it's kind of been a little behind the game in getting out. But this is really an all-in-one solution. This is designed to replace the WIU, the Wi-Fi interface unit, and the TIU by combining them both into one component. And the separate sale TIU and the separate sale WIU will no longer be produced. In fact, we shipped the last ones when? Last fall?
Last fall.
Right. And they're hard to find, I trust.
They're going for a premium one online. So they're tough right now. But be patient. These won't be long now. These will be out fairly soon.
And a couple of things about this setup is a little different from what we've had in the past in terms of functionality. Obviously, it's going to control Protosound 2.0 and later locomotives in command mode, but it will also control AC and DC locomotives in conventional mode. And by that, we mean that you can vary the output of the current to control a conventional 1955 Lionel GG1, I think it came out then, while you're running a command Protosound 2 or Protosound 3 engine on the same track. Previously, you could only do that with an AC powered train, but now we're able to do that with both AC and DC power. We couldn't regulate the DC output voltage with the existing TIU, but we can with this new device. So it is a lot more compatible with everything that's out there. And we're not just talking about O-gauge. You can obviously run G-gauge engines, Bachmann G-gauge engines, Aristocraft old G-gauge engines in conventional mode with a DC power supply plugged into the TIU, the WTIU. You can run HO with this. Yes. And you can do it all with our app. So Android or Apple devices will control it. So this really takes the DCS infrastructure, family of products to a whole new level. And it's typical of the evolution of technology. We touched on that a little bit earlier with what Lionel's doing, and certainly the industry as a whole has benefited from this in a way that I don't think Senior could have imagined when he was a youngin'. What all's happening? Well, I know he couldn't imagine because he still uses a fax
There is
machine.
a question about Android. Yes, Android. There's an Android or Apple.
Yes, it runs them both, and it's always done that. The app has always done that. So really, the big differences here with this product is the all-in-one setup, WIU, TIU married into one device, the conventional control of both AC or DC powered locomotives of any scale, obviously Protosound 2 and later command control functionality. It'll be out sometime late in the summer, early fall. It seems to be the prognosis right now. For those of you who have been paying attention to the news, and I don't know if this is just because business is ramping up, but the electronic component business has struggled with rebounding from COVID. There's huge shortages of microprocessors and whatnot that are affecting the automobile industry, for one. It trickles down, that kind of stuff trickles down to all other industries, and as a result, things get pushed. And let's face it, model railroading, as much as we all love the hobby, is low man on the totem pole when it comes to electronics. The volumes just aren't there. So that's the sacrifice that we put up with. But anyway, that's the gist of the DCS WTIU. We certainly appreciate folks being patient in waiting for that. And with the shortage really of DCS equipment out there, I hope people haven't been paying too much for that, for the pieces.
Folks, sign up for our e-newsletters, because nowadays that's how you're going to get most all the news from MTH. Any new technology announcements, any new product announcements, that type of thing. So please sign up for the e-newsletter. It's right on our homepage.
Thank you, Rich.
And Rich, when is the Z4000 coming back in? Because we are dried up. No, we don't have anything to sell.
I think late summertime, I believe.
Okay.
That's falls right back into the same problem, Ken, with the components. So they're working on it, and hopefully, like Rich said, late summertime we'll see that. We know they're hard to find for sure.
Well, one thing I was expecting, guys, was some closeouts at the end of this year or something, but you guys sold everything. There's nothing left. It's amazing how when you guys announced it that people were buying your product in droves. They were just like, gotta have it. It was an amazing thing to watch that everybody was just coming out of the woodworks to buy your product.
Well, we do have the top sales guy in the industry.
Do you still have a desk?
I still have a desk, yes. I haven't taken my chair either.
No? Okay. Yeah. I still have a desk. They took my conference table and my guest chair. So I have a milk carton in there for people to sit on when they come in.
Very good.
Yeah. So
you wouldn't recognize the place, anybody who's ever been here. But all right, thanks guys for having us. Appreciate it.
We salute you guys in the industry for you've been just you're what this industry is about: camaraderie and great people and friends and just it's a great hobby and a great business. It really is, and memories, lots of memories with you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah, Rich and Andy, we really appreciate everything you've done for the industry, and we know a lot of it goes unnoticed and not said, but I think everybody watching tonight can appreciate all the hard work, the blood, sweat, and tears, because it is a lot of work, and you guys put a lot of time, effort. I mean, Rich calls me all the time from the weekends when he should be spending time with his wife. So you guys make a lot of time and put a lot of time and effort into this, and we really appreciate it.
You don't understand the relationship with my wife. If you remember when the COVID first hit, I had made the error in judgment of having her cut my hair. And so she was behind me with a pair of scissors. And I thought twice, well, what's left of my hair? But I thought twice about that afterwards. And I immediately decided that would be the last time that happened.
You should have got that thing that George Clooney has.
Okay.
I forget what they call it, but you just put it over your head and it shaves you.
Oh, okay.
But it gives you that rough, manly look, which you could use.
I could use that. All right, gentlemen.
All right. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. And now from MTH, we're going to kick it off with Drew, who's a new face on our train shows, but he's not a new face to the industry. And it seems like Atlas actually bought some of the tooling from MTH.
We definitely did, and we'll get into that in a second. I want to thank Ken Sr. For the great introduction at the start of the show. But the one thing I got to complain to you about, my first live show, and you put me on after Rich and Andy? Like, I have to follow up that? That's tough.
We got to keep the public interested. Come on.
All right. Well, let's see if I can get my screen shared.
This is the first test, if we could get it to share.
All right, here we go. All right, so as we've talked about and a little bit throughout the show, we have acquired some premier products from MTH. We acquired 17 locomotive projects, 25 rolling stock, over 25 rolling stock items, 3 passenger cars, and some structures and accessories. from MTH. Not only that, we also reached a licensing agreement for Proto Sound 3, the DCS system from MTH. So that will be available in Atlas O-scale locomotives in the future. So here's kind of a smattering of the Premier rolling stock that we acquired. For a full list of these items, you can go find that on MTH's website as well as our own at shopatlasrr.com. We do plan in the future to offer these in both 3-rail and 2-rail, but we have some things to work out before we can offer them in 2-rail. Also, the locomotives, we got the E6s, the E8s, the Genesis Dash 9, SD45, F40PHs, U30Cs, GP38s, GP40s, and some of the SD70 series, as well as the ES44ACs and DCs we've acquired. So going forward, one of the first projects that we're working on is the 70-foot heavyweight passenger cars. A lot of these are going to match the Pacifics that MTH announced recently. We have the road names you can see here: Baltimore and Ohio, Boston and Maine, GM&O, Pittsburgh and West Virginia, Pennsy, U.S. Army, Reading, Blue Mountain and Northern, both the blue and the red, and Southern, as well as the Crescent Limited Southern as well. We plan to have 2 coaches in observation, a baggage car, as well as RPOs, diners, and combines with road names that are appropriate for those cars. We will have a formal announcement in the May all-scale monthly catalog, which will give you the part numbers and the pricing and all that stuff. And that should go out live on the 5th of May. We're shooting for the 5th of May on the next all-scale monthly.
That's awesome.
We also have a couple Premier PS1 boxcars that we have that we're going to be rolling out as well. There's going to be 2 road names of each of these: Louisville, Nashville, Grand Trunk and Western, New York Central, Rock Island, Seaboard, and UP. We're shooting for the 3rd quarter of 2021 for these cars. I forgot to mention on the 70-foot passenger cars, those will be here in the 4th quarter. We also have the 2-bay offset hoppers. We'll offer 4 road numbers in these. These are also scheduled in the 3rd quarter 2021. Don't quite have artwork finished, so I had to dig up some HO substitutes to show them off. But you see the road numbers, or the road names there: Chicago Northwestern, D&H, Great Northern, L&N, Mopac, and NNW.
Very cool.
Now on to some new arrivals, some items that we just started shipping to dealers. We got the Troop Series, the Pullman Troop Sleeper, as well as some the MOW Maintenance of Way variants in 1947, a couple years after World War II. A lot of the troop carriers were sold off to railroads, and they were put into Maintenance of Way service. So we have Detroit and Toledo Shoreline, Delaware, Lackawanna and Western, Chesapeake and Ohio, and Chicago and Eastern Illinois. So like I said, those have just arrived and are available now. We also got the kitchen car and the hospital kitchen car. You can see the 3-rail and 2-rail part numbers there. Those have just arrived, along with the REA, the express box cars. So some of them were rebuilt into express reefers and express box cars. So we have REA, Chesapeake and Ohio, and Chicago and Eastern Illinois. You can see the Chicago and Eastern Illinois, the window pattern's a little bit different because that was actually an X kitchen car compared to an X Troop Sleeper. Also, that just hit the shelves are the Trinity 5161 covered hoppers, the Chicago Freight Service CRDX, and the Southern Pacific variants, both just arrived. The Alaska chassis system and Conrail are on the water, and I expect to see those in about a month, probably middle of May on those guys. We also have the 1973 Ford F-100s. These are also on the water, and we should see them about the same time as the Trinity hopper cars. Got ahead of myself there. And another thing I wanted to mention, as MTH has, make sure to get signed up for our email sign up. That's where you're going to find out about all the new announcements. When the new all-scale monthly catalog goes live, you'll get an email and a bunch of other information about the passenger cars, the Premier freight cars, and all the new stuff that we have around the corner here at Atlas.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome, Drew.
Got a big lineup, Drew. Big lineup. Mm. I'm glad to hear that you're sticking with some Proto 3 stuff, because there's millions of people out there that have it already. It's just like a no-brainer to keep it going. You know, it's a proven system. It works. It's quality. It's great stuff. Great stuff. So I think it was a good idea to stay with that. Mm.
Yeah, and for the people out there to know a little bit about this purchase and merger, MTH, their O-scale line is tremendous. I mean, their tooling and whole company is just a huge conglomerate. So even just these premier toolings that you showed me, I mean, just that alone is ginormous. I mean, that's a big overture to kind of take and get the product going, and where's the tooling. So it's a big process when you do some of that maneuvering inside the industry. But Drew, I saw the selection, and you got a lot of great tooling from MTH, the Premier stuff. So I think this kind of fits in your wheelhouse really nicely. And I know we're excited about it, and I'm sure you guys over at Atlas will do a great job with it. And I know it's got to be a lot of work for you guys.
Yeah. The R&D guys are working tirelessly to get, there's a lot to figure out, a lot of pieces to put together. Definitely excited to kind of increase our footprint in the O-scale market. Something we're really excited about. And we have the additional supplier now, so hopefully that'll help ease some of the issues we've had with the supply chain. So a lot of exciting stuff going on, and we're excited for a lot of the announcements and things we'll have throughout this summer and going into the fall.
Yeah. Will the boxes have a combo name on it, or just Atlas, or Atlas Premier, or?
I haven't seen the artwork for the boxes. I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're going to be blue, and they're going to say Atlas O. So I think they're going to kind of go into the master or trainman categories that we have. I'm not 100% sure, though. That's something else that the marketing side's got to figure out. Okay.
Mm. Right. Well, good luck with it. Good luck with it. It's in the right hands. Mm.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Ken.
And I think the when you kind of brush over the DCS component, so you're able to put the DCS chips inside the locomotives, I guess.
Yeah. So we can now offer the MTH tooling with DCS
technology.
And, all the Atlas locomotives now have that. We can put DCS in them going forward.
So that's really great for the people out there to know, because there's a lot of people who use a couple of different systems, but MTH DCS is one of the larger, components in the industry. So for you guys to be able to offer that now, I think that's great for, to keep that going. And for the MTH, the DCS people out there, Andy brought up their new interface unit. So it seems like the technology components are still continuing, which I know was a big concern for everyone. So I think that's a big relief. And so I think that will be nice to I guess a nice relief for everyone out there to hear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely excited about it.
Drew, where's the track? Where's the track?
I wish I had a warehouse full of it, Ken. I really do. It's coming. It's coming. I have a list because I knew you were going to ask. I have a list of what just came in and what's on the water. So let's see. We can go through them. I got 6013, 090 curve, 6060, 054 curve, and 6043, 027 curve. They all just hit the warehouse and they're shipping out to you guys now. I got 6050, which is a 10-inch straight, 6051,
Yes.
4.5 inch, 6052, 1 3/4, and the 6062, 072 curve. That is all on the water in a container. Should be here in the middle of May. And then we'll have another container of track hopefully here. I'm hoping middle of June. Probably will slip into July. We'll see how that goes. But we're working on it. We're working on it as quickly as we can.
I told Drew he was going to be on the hot seat tonight. I didn't give him a heads up with questions, but that's pretty good, Drew. I think Jared's going to be pretty impressed.
I hope so.
Yeah, we miss Jared. Hello, Jared.
Yeah, he was all presentationed out after the World's Greatest Hobby thing last weekend. So.
Okay.
You're doing a great job, Drew, and thank you for the update. It was really cool to see all the tooling that you guys made, as well as the new announcements of what you're going to begin to start with first. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, just the tip of the iceberg. We got a lot of really cool stuff that I'm excited about.
Great to hear. And last but not least, Angela Trotta Thomas. Angela, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, Ken. I'm so happy to be here. This is a great way to get to touch base with a lot of our collectors, and I'm delighted that you are doing this. And Ken Senior, it's great to join in with you as well.
Okay. Well, I tell you, Angela, the last time you were on, I couldn't get my thing to work. Otherwise, I would have been there. But my son says you were a hit. The people that kept talking and writing about you and this and that, it was like a breath of fresh air to the industry online. People are used to seeing you at the show, at the York show, but the rest of the country, they really don't get to see you often.
Well, I'm real. That's really a really nice part about this whole virtual Zoom show is that we can touch base with people that we don't get to see at the shows. Pretty much anymore, I just do the York show, and obviously not in the last year and a half. So it's been a great venue to be able to join in on this. I'm grateful that you're doing this. Really.
Well, I guess for the people that are first tuning in that may or may not know you, can you explain what you do?
Well, I have been with Lionel now over 30 years, and I'm licensed with the company, and we have created artwork throughout the whole 30 years. It's a lot of commemorating the typical 1950s memories, 40, the post-war. But it's grown into much more than that. Now it's become a lot of my artwork is on product, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that tonight and a new piece that's going to be coming out. And I obviously do all the prints, but I do a lot of private commission work now as well. And I wanted to show some ways, some of the things that I do and how I start with that as well. So that's pretty much, I've been around for a long time. I'm surrounded by train guys. They keep a good eye on what I'm doing and if I'm doing it right. And then over 30 years, I've learned a lot myself. So I enjoy it very much. And I'm grateful to every one of you that has enjoyed my artwork over the years.
Yeah. And that GG1 behind you in that paint, you did Lionel a boxcar, didn't you now with that?
Yeah, that's one of the things I'm going to talk about in a moment.
Oh, okay.
I have we're working together. Lionel, well, first of all, before I get started, I have to say a shout out to my granddaughter. Hi, Rat. Mimi's here because I know she's watching and waiting. So, but anyway, let me touch base first about the private commission work. One of the things that's come out of all the artwork that I've done is that, and especially it's a lot of the people that have collected my prints over the years have now commissioned me to create, personal memory for them, either a memory or a painting of their child or them as a child or whatever the case may be. It could be anything. That's the beauty of a private commission, is that I can do in any way to please the client. And I never talked about how I go about doing that, but I thought it might be a little different to touch base on that tonight. So let me just pull this up here a little bit closer. This is a private commission I'm working on right now. Can you see that? Can you see that pretty well?
Yeah.
Yes, we see it. Yeah.
Okay. This commission was a photograph was sent to me that was actually taken back. I think it was in like 54 or 57, and this is the actual client right now, and this is his dad and his brother, and they had gotten this train for Christmas. Now the photograph did not have the train in it. I had to add some things. When I do these paintings, I do them. I say, you give me the puzzle pieces, and I'll put the puzzle together. And the puzzle pieces might be an old photograph, and then we might need photographs of the trains, or another picture of the child as what the child looked like at that time, or a current child, whatever the case may be. I walk you through all that. But when I put the painting together, the first thing I do is an underpainting, and this is an underpainting. It's all done in sepia tones. This is for me to get. It's almost, I call it like my blueprint. I get the coloration, I get the values and everything else. Then I go back in and I put all the detail that everyone is, has enjoyed in my artwork and commented to me many, many times over the years about the detail and all the detail I put in these paintings. But I do this first because this helps me get it all right first, and then I can put the detail in it. So that's just, I just wanted to show that, because a lot of people say, well, how do you do this? How do you start? And I start from a lot of different references, and we have a lot of trains ourselves. So if they can't send me the train, or they don't own the train anymore, and they don't have a photograph of the train, chances are I have a train, or good friends that are train collectors have the train. So I always have a way to get reference on the different pieces. So anyway, that's how I work on the private commission work. And if any of you have any questions, please feel free to call me anytime. Go onto my website. It's my name. It's angelatrottatomas.com. Email me, call me, whatever. And I can kind of just, no obligation. I can just give you some information about how it's done. And, might or might not work for you, but just don't feel free to get in touch with me. So that was the first thing I wanted to talk about. And now the second thing I wanted to talk about, and this is what Ken had just asked me about. Let's see if I can get that up closer here. The last catalog, the last Lionel catalog, we introduced an iconic series, and I believe that the pieces I think they're in the catalog that's current right now. But anyway, the first two that we did were the Santa Fe and the Hudson, and they're right across the whole side of the boxcar. So they did so well, and I'm sure Train World has a lot of orders, hopefully, for them, that they decided to go ahead and do a few more, and it's all going to be, pretty much iconic engines. And this is the artwork for the GG1 boxcar that's coming out. It'll be in the 2021 Volume 2 catalog coming up. So keep an eye out for it. And Len, can you put up the actual picture of the boxcar? Show what that looks like there. You should have that.
Yep. Just give me 1 second.
Ken. I mean, Ken.
Yeah.
I don't know where
Is that
I was reading Lionel. The L,
right?
there it is. So that's what the car is going to look like. And I think it came out great. I'm really, really pleased with the green all around the, the art. And then it really, really pops the sky. And I think the engine really stands out. So I'm really excited about this piece. I think it's going to do really well. And I think we're going to probably do a few more new ones coming up in the future. So keep an eye out for them. I think it's going to be a really fun series. And I'm hopefully I'll get everybody's favorite iconic engine on these cars. So that's one of the things I'm working on.
And
so that's, go ahead.
Sorry, Angela. I will say that, your artwork is so amazing, but Lionel does a great job, in embracing your whole vision and actually displaying it on the cars. Their wrap and the technology that they use, I don't know how they do it, but it's just unbelievable. It's not like anything that was back in the 80s or 70s. This is new technology that they're able to make it so amazing and really say that's an Angela Trotta Thomas car.
They pick up all the detail. I'm actually amazed every time I see them because you never know how it's going to translate onto well, it's not really three-dimensional, but it is sort of three-dimensional product. And however they're doing it, they're doing a really spectacular job. The new pieces look great. I'm so pleased with the quality. And obviously, it seems to be that everyone else is pleased as well, because thank goodness they're doing really well. So I'm couldn't be more pleased. So, look for it in the next catalog, and then get in touch with Ken and order some of these pieces.
There you go.
And Angela, I like that Lionel's making a what is it, a hobby shop with your name on it also? Or
yeah, it's actually the new one coming, the new one that's out right now. I think it's probably in the current catalog. I think that's what you might be talking about.
Yes, yeah.
Santa Claus on the side. Is that the one?
Yes.
That's actually a hobby shop, right? It's not like my hobby shop. It's just a hobby shop, but the artwork that I on the side it was designed to have that feeling of, like, back in the day when a lot of things were painted on the sides of these buildings. This was the piece that we came up with for it, and I think it turned out to be a really great piece.
It's spectacular piece.
Thank you very much. Now, I'm so delighted because we work so well together, and we're trying so many new things, and it's not just boxcars anymore. It's lots of things that we're working on. So I couldn't be more pleased with it. And never did I ever imagine that all this artwork would end up going in these directions. So
can you get in the camera again? Or
yeah, I guess
there you go. Okay.
I guess I can, sure. But so that's the second thing I wanted to talk about. And then the third thing is something I'm working on right now that I'm really pretty proud of. Mary, go ahead. Did you have a question before I move on?
No, I wasn't sure if you wanted me to share screen on the next item or
not yet.
Okay, gotcha.
Gotta unveil it first.
Okay, you got
it. So I'll tell you when. But anyway, in fact, let me get lined up here. Move this out of the way.
Ryan, did you learn your painting tips from Angela Trotta Thomas?
No, I am nowhere near in Angela's league on any of this stuff. There is a huge difference between slapping some paint on a model kit and making something look old and decrepit.
You know what?
Than making something look beautiful like she does.
We enhance each other's artwork, so it's a good thing. I'm really pleased with a lot of the colors and designs and everything that you guys put together with my artwork, and it just makes it all the better. So I'm grateful for everything. I really am. But anyway, the project I'm working on right now is gallery. Mary Williams Gallery from Boulder, Colorado, contacted me, and quite a few other artists. We're working on a project called America the Beautiful, and the paintings are going to be coming from all 50 states, and they're going to commemorate, just America, American made, American, like state parks and railroads and things that just have made America what it is today. So I was really excited. Oh, they wanted old toys. They wanted, trains and everything else. I was really excited to come up with something really special for this, because what they're going to do is the sale of all the original paintings. There'll be a percentage, 10% of all the original paintings sales, which will be substantial, will go to, let's see, I'm going to make sure I get it right. I believe it's Feeding America. Wow. And, it's just, I think this is going to be a really big thing in the art world right now. And so I was really excited to be able to come up with something special. Now, what I'm doing with that as well, because so many people that have already seen the artwork, I've not published it yet, but have said, can I get a print? Can I get a print? So I've decided I'm going to do 50 prints for 50 states, and it's going to be available on my website, which I actually, as soon as I get finished here, I'm going to put it up on my website. So probably a half hour after the show, if anyone's interested in ordering a print, it'll be first come, first serve. First come, first serve. Trying to say. So what I'd really like to do is, and I'll unveil it now, but then Ken, you can put the actual image up, because I know it's hard with glare and everything to really see what the painting's going to look like. So let me just pull this off. Oh, the title, important. The title is called American Made, American Played. So keep that in mind. So there it is. So let's see if we can you blow that up, Ken?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
Beautiful.
When it gets blown up, you'll see the detail and all. I really sat and thought, how can I commemorate? Because let's face it, all these post-war pieces were, all American made, American played. And, what else is America? Baseball. The only thing I don't have in there is the apple pie. So, but I didn't think I couldn't work it in. So I just felt like and the flag is such a beautiful flag with the colors and everything else. So I wanted it simple, but I wanted it poignant, and I wanted to be able to, when you look at it, you feel like, yeah, that is part of America. It's a big part of America. And Lionel trains are iconic, and they are a big part of America. So this is the piece that's going to be sold through this gallery, Mary Williams, and it will be part of the America donation. So I'm really excited about that. Let's make sure I have little notes here to make sure I don't miss anything. Oh, it's going to launch the sale of the originals is going to launch on Memorial Day, and but the prints I'm going to have available, it'll start tonight. So my website. Go ahead,
Angela. Is this an auction on the originals, or is it going to be a set price?
It'll be a direct sale to contact the gallery and buy the painting through the gallery.
Okay.
And, I'll have information about that on my website as well. But that's not until Memorial Day. Oh, thank you for putting that. That's my website. I appreciate that. And it's easy, just my name. And you'll see it. Oh, the size, my husband just said size. So the size of the print is 18 by 24. So that'll be the size of the piece. But anyway, I lost track of what I was saying now. Please feel free, if you have any questions about it, get in touch with me through my website. My phone number's on there as well. You can call me or you can email me anytime, and I'll fill you in on anything and everything that I'm doing, because I'm actually very excited to be part of this project. So,
is this going to be a series, or this is like the first of a series, or?
Well, I never know. In all the series I've done over the years, I never knew it was going to be a series till it got to be a series. So I'm not sure where this will go.
Okay.
But the fact of the matter is, it may grow into something else, because it'll be affiliated with, donating to something really special. And there's a lot of different, businesses, corporations, and all that sort of thing that could benefit from something like this. So I never say no, but I don't know at this point. The same thing with the Iconic Engine series. We started out with the 1, and now it's grown to 3, and it'll probably be 4 or 5. So it just depends on how it's received. But I have a feeling this painting is probably going to be received pretty well, because I really worked hard to try to just have a feeling of what America's all about, especially to train collectors.
Yeah. I think you nailed it 100%. It's special. It's American. It's patriotic. It's pride. It says it all. I could think of different things to do the next one or the next one. It's like,
well, then we should talk.
Yeah, I think and putting the smoke pills next to the engine, that was like the detail that you needed for that. It was very clever, very clever.
If you were ever, obviously, and the thing is, this will speak to people that are not even just train collectors, but are just really American made, and obviously America as totally America. So I really worked hard to try to be able to have a further reach with this piece, reach past the just train collectors. So anyway, this is the original painting, and obviously it doesn't show up like the piece there, but you can see it's all framed in a lovely gold frame, and hopefully it will be a good piece for someone's home. So I'm grateful.
And
those are the things I'm doing that are new, guys. So.
And Angela, I must say you have great choice selection, and I think my father could attest to the 736 Lionel steam engine. I mean, that's iconic, right, Dad?
Yes, yeah, the Berkshire, the famous Berkshire. That's every kid wanted to have that engine. Just like, it was massive, it was big, it was heavy, it was like the dream. It just got to have that big engine. And,
well, that's that piece. You're right. It reached a lot of people, even back in the day, and it's still iconic. So. Obviously I talked to my husband and quite a few of my other train collectors about choices of things when I do these things, but this piece resonates quite a bit. So
yeah.
I enjoy. I started out in the beginning thinking, oh, how am I going to paint these steam engines? They're so detailed. But you know what? I love painting the steam engines now. So, it just after many years, I've obviously come to appreciate these toys on a completely different level than when I started out, and they just they're history. They're part of the history.
And Angela, one more time. So you're gonna have original real paintings for 150 of them, one for each state, and that's Memorial Day weekend, correct?
No. The 50 prints are going to go up tonight on my website. That's totally
so there's okay.
The original painting is going to be available through the Mary Williams Fine Art Gallery in Boulder, Colorado.
Gotcha.
And, I will put information on that on my website on that as well. So please, join me on Instagram and Facebook. I do post a lot of new things as they're coming out on those platforms, and then Eventually, I do put everything on my website as well. But it's nice, please feel free to come back and join it and look at it every once in a while, because I'm constantly adding new things.
I mean, this is gorgeous, Angela, and I think both the 50 prints, I'm sure you'll probably sell out in a night. I mean, it's just not enough, and that's extremely limited. So whoever's thinking about it right now, make sure you go to her website. Hopefully she'll post it up soon. And
give me a half hour.
Yeah, give her a half hour. And as well as the original, I think people are going to call up, and we should probably eventually, one year when you do a painting like this, we should have Ryan be the auctioneer and just do a live auction, because everybody here is chomping at the bit to get one of these pieces in their homes. It's just beautiful, and to be part of the giving back to the community is a great thing. So really well done, Angela.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm very, very grateful for everyone's response, and I've gotten to know so many wonderful friends over the last 30 years. So thank you. Hopefully we'll see you in person the next time in the fall. Let's cross our fingers for that. But I'm grateful to have had this venue as well. So thank you. I can get back in. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Angela, I'm going to talk to you about doing a special painting of our original Brooklyn store.
I would love to do that.
Where Train World started, where my mother Eileen and my father Peter opened up their business that people said they were out of their mind, but they proved them wrong. And where we started in this little tiny store, and it had a Lionel train sign on it, and I would like that hang in my house. So we'll talk about that.
That's what I love to do, Ken. I love painting all of this, but when I can resurrect something that means something so special to you and your memory, that gives me a lot of pleasure. Plus, I'm not trying to paint something that's universally understood and acceptable. I'm thinking about just you as my client, and bringing that memory back to you and your family. So thank you for wanting me to do that. I'd be honored to do it.
Wait, I don't know if you can tell. My eyes are like welting a little, because it's like that's beautiful what you're doing there. It's just beautiful. It's American. It's American.
Thank you. And you know what? It is. And that's one of the things I've been so proud about painting the Lionel trains, is that they are part of the American fabric. They truly are.
Yeah. Since 1900. Since 1900.
Right. So long. So I'm, I couldn't be more proud and more pleased.
Yeah. Angela, this is just really nice, beautiful, and again, a half hour. She's gonna post it, and only 50 prints available. So make sure you hop on. I'm gonna try to hop on too, so I don't get boxed out. But I think it's going to be sold out overnight. So make sure you stay up and watch that website. And again, she'll post the I guess instructions on how to get to the dealer for the original painting, which is just stunning, just really beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thanks again for having me and, including me into such a wonderful Zoom session.
You surprise us every single time, Angela.
I thinking I've got to try something new, because I keep talking about the same thing. So, so thank you for including me. I appreciate it very much.
Beautiful.
All right. Thank you, Angela. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
All right. So a lot action-packed night with everyone, MTH, Williams, Lionel, Atlas, Angela Trotta Thomas, and my father, Ken Sr. Thank you very much for being here tonight. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We couldn't have done it without everyone signing in, viewing. It's the reason why all these manufacturers and us keep on doing this. So we really appreciate everyone joining on. Again, we're running a York virtual show special. If you're signed up for our email sales, or if you're not, make sure you sign up. We're sending out a code word. If you're not signed up for Train World Text, sign up. Go to trainworldtext.com. It's unique, first time in the industry. We're going to text you the deals and events like this to your cell phones. So make sure you're signed up. And again, thank you, everyone. And thank Rich and Andy. Hopefully it won't be the last time we see you. We'll definitely do something eventually, but we love you guys, and thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
Okay.
Have a great summer, guys.
Yeah.
See you in the fall.
Yeah. Thank you.
you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Take care.